Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. What do they say? Better late than never?
Yep.
Yeah. Good morning and welcome to the In Wheel Time car talk show. Just ahead, Mike Quincy and Consumer Reports top 10 picks. Can't wait to talk to Mike about that. I got to drive the 2023 Cadillac Escalade, or as I like to call it, the Escalade V series.
Be still my heart.
I'll give you my impression of it. We'll also have the cruise-in calendar. Later, Conrad has This Week in Auto History, and I'll have the stories making automotive news headlines this week. Just ahead on this edition of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Hello, and along with Mike Mars, King Conrad DeLong, we need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this chilly morning in Houston, Texas. I hope it's nice where you are, wherever you are around the globe, because we now are reaching people on the other side of the earth.
How can that be? The earth is flat.
That's what we think of it.
They're upside down. They're hanging on.
There you go.
Mike Quincy, good morning to you.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Well, we're doing great. Thanks so much. Mike is with Consumer Reports. What's your title there, Mike?
I'm an automotive specialist, and I have no idea what that means.
Hey, Mike, I wanted to ask you about that. So is there like a division of Consumer Reports that does auto?
Absolutely. In fact, the main office of Consumer Reports is in Yonkers, New York, and that's where they test appliances, electronics, where advocacy offices are, all the administrative stuff. But I work at the Consumer Reports test track, which is in Colchester, Connecticut, and we do cars, we do tires, and we do child safety seats. So if you think that a Consumer Reports car guy has any advice for which refrigerator to buy, you're completely out of luck. I have no idea what to tell you.
Well, I'll have to tell you, I've driven some refrigerators before. Does that count? So, Mike, how many people are on the staff in the automotive department?
We have about 25 people
Jeez.
at the Consumer Reports test track, and these are made up of engineers, editorial folks, statisticians, administrators, and a bunch of maintenance folks that take care of the grounds. We have 327 acres to take care of. It's the site of the old Connecticut Dragway. So if you Google Connecticut Dragway, you will see how the track used to look before we bought it in the 1980s.
That's really cool. I love to hear those sorts of things. And I was thinking that when I found out that we were going to talk to you this morning, I thought, man, I want to ask him, what is the inside skinny there with Consumer Reports? They've got to have a staff. Well, now we know it's a couple of dozen people. Well, that's good to know. All right, so let's get on with today's subject, and let's talk about the top 10 picks in cars and trucks. And I assume that these are Consumer Reports picks. First of all, let's qualify or quantify that. And
Gotcha. Just checking volume.
yeah, well, it's working really well over there. Let's talk about what defines the top 10 picks.
Sure. To be recommended by Consumer Reports, a vehicle has to do well in our testing. It has to have at least average or better scores in our member surveys for reliability and owner satisfaction. And it can't fail any crash safety tests, and it has to have lots and lots of standard safety features as standard equipment on all the trim lines. So we're talking about forward collision warning, automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection at highway speeds, because we don't think that you should have to spend an arm and a leg to get all the safety features. And so now with the Consumer Reports top picks, these are the best of the best, the cream of the crop, the valedictorians of the class. These are the models that top their category in certain price ranges as being the ones that tested and scored the absolute number one.
So, Mike, you could buy a $25,000 car and get all those safety features on that car.
Right, and that's something to keep in mind when you think about the average price of a new car, which I think is like $46,000.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's expensive.
Yeah, so there are a number of vehicles. In fact, I think there's 5 vehicles on Consumer Reports top picks list that are $35,000 or less. You know, it's starting with the Toyota Corolla Hybrid, and the Toyota Corolla Cross, the Camry. These are all models that did really well in Consumer Reports testing. Very fuel efficient, super reliable, and and affordable if you're in the market for a new car.
So let's just get into it, shall we? Where do you want to start? You want to start with luxury? You want to start with price categories? How you define it?
Well, I'm thinking, Texas. I am a member of the Texas Auto Writers because I used to live in Austin, and they gratefully let me keep my membership. So I would say let's start with a pickup truck, and in this case, it's the Ford Maverick Hybrid. This model did really well in our testing. 37 miles per gallon overall for a pickup truck.
That's insane.
It's absolutely incredible. And listen, it's not an F-150. It's not a Silverado. It's not a Ram 1500. But for a lot of people that live in suburban environments like I do and a lot of people do, a small pickup truck absolutely fits the bill. No, it's not going to tow an enormous Airstream trailer or a horse trailer or anything like that. But it is a very civilized alternative to a huge pickup truck. Low base price, starts around $22,000. It has great handling. It's comfortable. It has good seats. It has easy controls. And listen, I'm glad to see more and more smaller pickup trucks in the marketplace.
Well, that's interesting that you should say it's that the Maverick, because Mr. Mars has a review of the Maverick in our last hour of the show.
Mm-hmm. And I happen to be driving the hybrid Maverick today.
Oh, cool.
I drove it over here, so I'm real interested. It's interesting that it pops up on his list.
Were you hauling anything? Donkey or anything?
I was hauling a couple of donkeys this morning trying to keep up with the traffic.
Now, you can interpret that any way you want to, but anyway, we'll move on from that.
I think I know the vernacular for donkeys.
Exactly. Well, let's keep Austin weird and just keep on going. Let's talk about automobiles under 25,000.
So one of the ones that really pops up, and it's very, very deserving, is the Toyota Camry Hybrid. Listen, a lot of people know the Camry. It's very popular. However, the Hybrid really is the pick of the litter here. 47 miles per gallon overall in Consumer Reports testing. It's comfortable. It has lots of convenient features. As I mentioned before, lots of standard safety features. It has got great reliability. Listen, Toyota's been working on hybrid technology since like the year 2000, I believe. They've really got it down to a science. And these are complicated cars when you're talking about having an internal combustion engine with an electric motor and battery packs, and they're swapping back and forth all the time. This is not just a straightforward technology. So you got to give hats off to Toyota for sticking with this technology, perfecting it, and the hybrids from Toyota's lineups, whether it's Toyota or Lexus, have been super, super reliable.
Well, I have to tell you that I remember vividly, and I'm sure you do too, when the Prius came out, we were all blown away. No, it's not a race car. No, it's not a track car. It's none of that. It's good, reliable good, reliable transportation.
Spit it out.
However, I know it's still a little bit early, but I will tell you that it got great gas mileage and it was very comfortable. Looked a little weird, and it got this reputation among car people of being, nah, are you kidding me? It's a Prius. Well, okay, you can think that if you want, but it has a lot to offer people in a decent price range.
And it does what it says it's going to do. And Toyota's Synergy Drive, they've laid that out over a multitude of platforms and have proven all of them successful.
Yeah. And, I will say this about Toyota. They've kind of gotten a bad rap in the press about the fact that, they're way behind on EVs. And that's really not the case, is it, Mike?
Well, it technically, when you think about EVs, there's electrification, and electrification is kind of a broad automotive term that says it's either a pure EV, it's a plug-in hybrid, or it's a hybrid. So in some ways, Toyota has been along with electrification, as we mentioned, for like 22 years. Now, for pure EVs, no, they're not really. I don't think they're betting the farm on pure EVs, mainly because the battery technology isn't quite there yet, despite the success that Tesla and others have had. I don't think there's a lot of profitability in selling EVs also, again, despite Tesla. So I'm not sure that Toyota thinks that that's the future. I mean, I think they're from a technological standpoint, I think they believe a lot more in hydrogen fuel cells, which is a different kettle of fish because that doesn't have an infrastructure either, like electric vehicles don't have an infrastructure. But so I get the criticism for Toyota not being in pure EVs, but I also understand it from a business standpoint why they're not.
Well, yeah, why be the guy that's out there spending all the money to figure everything out? Let Tesla do all that, and some of the others work on the hybrids, which I prefer. I actually think are better than the EVs for a lot of reasons, and at least for now.
So Mike, my feeling is, that Toyota, I think, is doing the right thing because I believe that EV is not going to sustain a car company unless it's some specialty thing like a Rivian or something like that. I think that the real success is going to become a blend of gasoline, hybrids, and EVs. Don't you?
Myself, speaking for Consumer Reports, we agree with you wholeheartedly. I think that EVs are good for some people. They're not good for everyone. It really, people will think I'm going to save money if I buy an EV, and the answer to that dilemma, if you want to call it, is yes and no. It depends where you live. It depends on your electricity rate, and also comparison. It depends on how much gasoline costs where you live. For example, an electric vehicle versus a gas vehicle in Massachusetts versus California. California has cheaper electric rates than Massachusetts. Massachusetts has cheaper gasoline than California. So it's not a slam dunk here. It isn't a universal truth that an EV is right for everyone. It is right for some people. And in fact, one of the top picks for the April issue of Consumer Reports is the Nissan Leaf, which is not too expensive. We're talking around $30,000. It has a range from 149 to 212 miles. If you're not doing massive road trips, if you're not living in like the Midwest where there's huge distances between everywhere you want to go, you're just living in town, you're commuting to work, it's a short commute, you're not driving that far, a Nissan Leaf makes all the sense in the world.
Right.
But it's not. See, I'm drawing a line between there are folks that say, well, everyone should drive an EV, and I definitely don't agree with that.
Right.
To that point, it's exactly how you use that vehicle is how you're going to benefit from it.
Let's get back to the top 10 picks. So what else is on the list there?
Well, since we're talking about EVs and everybody wants to talk about Tesla, the Tesla Model 3 is a Consumer Reports top pick. And listen, this car really deserves it. It is an absolute thrill to drive for all of the big block muscle cars and Corvettes that I've driven in my life. There is nothing that can accelerate like an electric vehicle. Granted, it's not as viscerally satisfying, but man, is it quick. It's so quick, it hurts my head. But it's not just about acceleration. This car has really good steering. It has sports car-like handling. But really what puts the Tesla 3 really over the edge for recommending it so highly, it's not only that it gets 358 miles on a charge in the top trim line, but it's the Tesla supercharger network that makes the livability, the kind of day-to-day, whether you're running errands around town or you're actually going on a road trip. The Tesla supercharger network is better than any other EV infrastructure going. And as we mentioned before, the EV infrastructure is pretty thin. So just because you can get into the Tesla supercharging network is a huge advantage for this car.
And that network is expanding almost daily. They just put in 12 charging stations up near my house, which I watched the construction going on. I'm like, what a weird spot to build something. And then all of a sudden, up popped the little Tesla.
And on the news reports this week that Tesla is letting other folks use their technology for other brands for the charging systems.
It's about time. They should all have the same plugs. I mean, can you imagine? You buy an electric razor and you want to go plug it in, but it depends on what state or what house you're in. The plug doesn't work. I mean, they're all universal for a reason. As I think every EV charging station and input for an electric car should be as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, you use the beta model, and I'll go ahead and use the VHS model, and we'll see who wins that battle. So let's move on. Let's talk about something more upscale. I see that you've got a Lexus in there.
Right, and actually, this is funny. This is the vehicle that I drove home just the other day. I have this for the long weekend. The NX is a very, very nice car. Think of it as a super upscale Toyota RAV4. It has incredible fit and finish. The seats are wonderful. It's quiet. The controls are pretty easy to deal with. What I like also is 38 miles per gallon in a luxury car. And it has the practicality of a fold-down rear seat and a hatchback. Ours has all-wheel drive, which is good if you're living here in the Northeast. And it has that typical Lexus reliability, and it has active safety features that are standard, such as blind spot warning and rear cross traffic warning. So this really is a complete package. And this is the second generation of NX. The first one didn't impress us all that much. This one is much improved.
What do you think is going to be the highest selling vehicle amongst your list there?
Wow. I would say the Kia Telluride is just a juggernaut since it debuted a few years ago.
I agree with you. Yes. Yeah.
It has blown us away. And I remember telling a couple of my friends after we tested the first Telluride that were in the market for a family vehicle. And I said, jump on one. If you can get it, get it. And obviously, since the pandemic, getting a Telluride is impossible, just like for a lot of cars. But I mean, I think Kia has absolutely hit a home run with this vehicle. And everyone that I talk in anecdotally, but I mean, listen, people that I talk to that have this love this car. So I think Kia is selling absolutely everyone they can build.
See, I'm not on that train. I don't think that vehicle is appealing. I just, for some reason,
because
I
you're
just
old.
don't get it.
Because we're old.
It's just too big for me.
Oh, it's I understand.
Yeah,
It's close to Tahoe size.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's an odd size to me.
Well, I mean, you also have to keep in mind that this is a different generation.
Mm-hmm.
They grew up in SUVs, and that size, I think, strikes a real note with many, many people because it fits for them, young families especially. Don't you agree, Mike?
Well, yeah, and the question was, what do I think is the top selling? So, because I also agree. I mean, for my family situation, my boys are like 19 and 23, so I don't need 3 rows of anything. I don't need a 3-row minivan. I don't need a 3-row SUV. I don't need that much room. But for most families, young families especially, they're always looking for a 3-row vehicle. Now, listen, I've got nothing bad to say about minivans. I think they're completely underrated. Like the Toyota Sienna minivan, they're all hybrids. They get great fuel economy. They're super reliable. They're very easy to live with. When you've had small kids, a minivan is absolutely the best, easiest vehicle around. But people don't like the image. So they say, well, I want 3 rows and I want an SUV, or they say, I need an SUV. Most people don't need an SUV. Most people will never tow anything with their SUV, but that is the family vehicle of choice. So, but I totally get it. And I don't, 3-row vehicles completely lost on me at this stage of my life.
But the family may be moving half of the Little League baseball team or water polo team from location to location. That's where that 8-passenger, 9-passenger vehicle comes in important.
So how are we going to wrap this up this morning, Mike? What would you like to talk about next?
Well, I would say go to consumerreports.org. Check out all the information that we've got. I mean, Consumer Reports is a subscription-based service, but for a limited time, these articles on the top picks, most reliable, highest rated for owner satisfaction. We also have an EV and hybrid kind of hub within the car section of the page. Check it out. They're going to be free for a little bit while longer. That they won't be behind the paywall. So I would say for all of your automotive needs, check out consumerreports.org. But don't look me up for a recommendation on a microwave oven.
Dang.
Well, I'll tell you this. All of us want to come up there and be you for at least a week.
When it gets warmer.
in the spring,
Hey,
in
July.
the spring.
Yeah.
Listen, you guys get to the Northeast. I will absolutely arrange to get a tour for you so you can see the facilities. Go for some hot laps around the track. I would be honored to give you guys a tour of the track.
Mike, thanks so much. We really appreciate that, and we appreciate you taking the time on a Saturday morning to talk to us. We'll hope to talk to you again very soon.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
so
Mike.
much for having me on.
You
You
bet.
bet. Mike
Thanks,
Quincy
sir.
with Consumer Reports. Gosh, I just love to talk to those guys.
Very good information.
Yeah, I know.
They're passionate. They
we
know
could
what
have
they're
an
talking
entire
about.
hour
I know.
with him and still not finish it.
And the time to go to Connecticut is October when the colors are changing.
Yeah.
What's the temperature?
Road trip. Well, we're going to go up to Granbury in the Lodestar Throwdown.
Yeah,
so
we
last year we
it
went-
can't be much further on the map.
you can't. No, just a.
It was over 100 degrees
Tiny
in Granbury.
bit. Let's talk about today's cruise-in calendar. Mr. Conrad DeLong has the cruise-in
Dun,
calendar.
dun.
You're it. You're on.
I know I'm on. I'm fumbling through my stuff trying to find it.
There you go.
I hate that fumbling through stuff.
Sunday, February 26th is Cars and Cocktails at Little Woodrow's in Tomball. That starts at 11 a.m., goes on to 3 p.m. March 25th is the Spindletop Car Show at Church on the Rock out there by Mars.
That's the reason that we're talking
It's
about
on
it,
Mars?
because it's out there.
What
Yeah,
about
it's on
Venus?
Mars.
What about Venus?
Men are from Venus.
Anyway, go ahead, please.
April 2nd, Sunday, April 2nd, from 6:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. is the Woodlands Cars and Coffee for a Cause off of Market Street. April 12th, from noon to 6 p.m. is the Texas Pony Party at the commemorative.
The Pony Party.
I think it's
My
a
Little
must.
Pony.
I'll tell you what,
My Little Pony.
you're dancing
The
on the
Mustang
edge
show.
when you say it that way.
Mm-hmm.
The commemorative Air Force Central Texas Wing. April 14th through the 16th is the Lone Star Convention, hosted by the Central Texas Chevrolet Club at the Embassy Suites in San Marcos. June 24th, starting at 10 a.m. through the 25th, ending at 9 p.m., is the Lone Star Drift Round 3 at the Houston Police Academy.
Okay.
Up there by the airport.
Could you move that microphone a little bit closer to your mouth, please?
Am I
No, not popping the peas. I don't have any more room to turn you up over here.
The Good Guys Summit Racing Lone Star Nationals at Texas Motor Speedway, September 29th from 9 a.m. through October 1st at 4 p.m.
That it?
That's it.
All right.
Mr. Mars, how's your breakfast down there this morning? I'm sure I'm glad
It's
that you're-
all over the
Great,
table.
It's all over the table. I'm glad he's joining in the conversation, aren't you?
If we have a computer malfunction, it's because of all the sugar from your donut landing on your keyboard.
And-
You
You know-
brought it.
Yeah, but you ate it.
There's going to be instructions next week.
All right, time now for this hour's car review. Had a chance to drive the 2023 Cadillac Escalade. Some people call it an Escalade V series.
That's all you
What-
got to say.
What a hot
The
rod.
review is over.
That pretty much,
I
yeah,
love
for
it.
Jeff anyway. It comes in many trim levels. It starts off with the luxury, the premium luxury, sport, premium luxury platinum, sport platinum, and the V at the top of the heap. All new for 23 is the V. This is a standard SUV, body on frame, full size SUV, 7 occupants up to, including the driver. Exterior changes from last model year, not many. This 5th generation Escalade was introduced in, this particular one was introduced in 2021. Okay? Took them a couple of years to build enough of those supercharged V8 engines to get it ready for the Escalade. Exterior features: black grille with smoky gray wheels with the V emblem on the flanks.
Look good.
Squinty headlights up high on the nose, tail lights from roof to midline. Quad chrome exhaust tips, which is unique for the V. Tall, vertical daytime running lights. Red brake calipers and ginormous rotors on this thing. It's not even a pie plate. This is a pizza pan.
Yeah.
I love ginormous.
What I like, everything. This ain't your mama's caddy Escalade. What could use improvement? Add some wings and it will fly.
Well, but could be, at 3 o'clock in the morning, it could annoy your neighbors because it had such a beautiful rumble to it.
Well, and
But
especially
the exhaust was loud.
when you start it up, I think it's pretty much open exhaust all the way to the back, and then it quickly chomps down on it. But yes, it is loud.
So there ain't no sneaking home at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Well, it could be as
Becky.
long as you put it in
Just saying.
neutral and you turn the motor off.
If you're
and you know what I'm talking
if
about.
you're coming home in that You want everybody to see you in it. You don't want to sneak around in it.
Not at 3 or 4 o'clock.
I
in the
don't
morning.
care. Just tub it out.
It sounded so good.
Interior
it's already
highlights.
got the LS.
A layered glass dash is beautiful with a unique instrument cluster. Upscale, top-notch, detailed leather appointments exclusive to the V. Different hard trim available for different levels of the V. Climate controls are separate, a separate pod at the bottom of the center console. Does that make sense to you? Cargo trunk room, massive with the seats folded down. What I like, GM's infotainment system is great. What could use improvement? I got a big question mark there because I don't know. You can't throw any more at an SUV than this one. You got the power. You got all of the room. The ride and the handling is great. We'll get to that in a minute. 6.2-liter supercharged V8 with 682 horsepower and
Be still, my heart.
653 pound-feet
Oh,
of
my
torque.
goodness.
10-speed automatic transmission. Tow rating, 7,000 pounds. Haul rating, 1,330 pounds.
No,
Big
haul
donkey.
rating is donkey.
Donkey
Honking,
Hall.
yeah, okay. Miles per gallon. Oh, this is great. 11 miles per gallon in the city, 16 on the highway for combined of 13. And believe it or not, I got 15.9. Over 310.4 miles. What I liked, power, baby.
And
What could
gobs
use
of it.
improvement? Take the performance pages from the Hellcats and put it in this. It doesn't have that. Now, you can change things around a little bit, but not like you can the Hellcat. And this one begs for that. But you're not going to take this drag racing because it weighs 4 tons, almost 4 tons, 8,000 pounds. So that 682 horsepower I'm talking about,
is working.
it works a lot.
The only thing I would recommend is an adaptable suspension, so you could literally lower the vehicle. Because I thought, looking at it, it rode high on the wheels and tires.
Well, I think that they don't do that because of the horsepower and the way that the whole thing is set up. Obviously, on the other Escalades, that's available. Almost 4 tons. That's a lot. Base trim price.
Here we go.
Base trim price.
Hold me
For
down.
the V. You can get into a V starting at $151,090. Price is tested, $155,365. Chump change to you, Conrad. Base model price. You just want to drive an Escalade? You can for $79,295. Okay? So
in the
we're-
slow lane.
Class
compared to the
C.
base.
yeah, the slow lane. And it's still not
Tiny
slow.
tires.
Now, based on the base model price, Lincoln Navigator goes for $77,635, Lexus LX 600 $87,815, and the Infiniti QX80 goes for $72,700.
But
No,
none of them offer a performance vehicle like the V.
That's what I was
They
just
don't
about to
sound
say.
the
That's
same.
Thank you, Cadillac.
And that is my review of the 2023 Cadillac Escalade.
Somebody wipe that smile off of his face.
The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts at your fingertips and over a dozen of the most popular podcast outlets. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Tailpipes and Tacos, Houston's premier car cruise-in returns Saturday, April 15th to the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. Bring your Hot Rod Classic, Resto Mod, or any other vehicle you'd like to show and compete for one of 3 highly coveted Chili Pepper trophies. This April 15th kickoff event is one you'll want to put on your calendar because 100% of the money you donate for the free tacos will be given to God's Garage. You heard right. Free tacos. Whatever you decide to give, all of it will be given to God's Garage and matched by Lupi Tortilla. God's Garage gifts vehicles to single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military in the greater Houston area. In fact, the garage will gift a vehicle to a mom in need at this special event. Be sure to attend the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In, Saturday, April 15th, 8 to 11 a.m. at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. Free breakfast tacos for any donation to God's Garage. It'll make your heart and your belly feel good. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.